Okay, much better. So, I'm gonna be yapping to you about books that I've recently read, stuff like that. I have a lot to talk about because what? Like what? First, I need something to drink because I am parched and I don't want water because water is for wimps. So let's go make some tea. We have to let it steep. The tea is some random English brand from like Walmart. It's super good. Oh, I love English tea. Okay. I have my tea. This is what the mug says. It says sip. It's inverted. I forgot about that. So, I don't really know where I want to start. Probably with Fourth Wing, because that's what I read most recently. Oh my goodness. So first of all, my friend got me these when I was in the middle of school. So like, this is like a random story time. She kind of got me these for Christmas. We were gonna do this like gift exchange, me and my like friend group. And then we kind of got busy, so we had to do it after Christmas. And then I made her like a physical like playlist. Like, it's a long story, but it was like a journal, and I didn't get it done because I was on vacation the whole time. So I was like, I'll get it to you the first day of school. And she's like, yeah, okay. And I was like, do not give me my books until I can give you your gift. Like, does that make sense? And then what happened is she forgot. And I literally can't count on two hands how many times I told her, I was like, girl, bring my books. I need them. Because, like, I was reading Onyx Storm. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. So I suppose we should start with book number 1. I started this Thanksgiving break. It was amazing. Okay, I loved everything about it. I felt like there wasn't a lot of stakes, but that's kind of how like all the first books are, like every single series, especially trilogies. The first book is just like you get to know the world and the characters, and I really enjoyed it. Like Sawyer is my favorite. You want to know who else is my favorite? Liam. Why did he have to die? Like, why him? Like, she should have chosen, like, and I'm saying this, like, it's biased because I love Liam so much. He has, like, my entire heart, and if he wasn't fictional, he'd be my husband. But, like, why did we have to choose Liam, bro? He had no, like, importance. Like, I feel like Solona was important. His sister was important in this, and Onyx Storm. Like, she's important. But you don't even know he has a sister right now. Like, I feel like if he didn't die, and he actually wasn't a character, you could still meet Salone. I feel like she wouldn't have that much importance, but I feel like there could have been, like, a different way that she could have, like, brought her into the story. You know what I'm saying? But 1 out of 2 of my favorite characters is dead, and want to know what happens to my favorite character in this book? He loses his leg. What? Luckily, he can still ride. Like, luckily, he's not dead. And I'm, like, I feel like I shouldn't be praising an author for not killing a character. Thank you, Rebecca Yarros, for not killing Sawyer. So, the second book. No. If I had to reread this series, I would just skip this book, I fear. Like, this was why it took me so long. This book right here was why it took me so long to finish the whole series. And, like, some parts of Onyx Storm. But that was just because, like, it was sad. And I have a really hard time, like, getting through sad books where I don't know what's gonna happen. But Violet, in this book, she was getting mad at Xaden because also, side note, if I say a character's name wrong, it's because I don't really care. And I'm not like I feel like sometimes I'll say something from this book. I'll be like, yes, they went to this place, and my friends will start floating. Like, what? But basically, Violet is getting mad at Xaden because he was keeping secrets. Like, oh my gosh, he can read minds. He must have violated my privacy. And then he's like, girl, I haven't done that for 2 years. And I only did it because I didn't know you. I thought you were gonna kill me. And he was like, I was doing it to protect myself. I do it to everyone. You're not special. And then she's like, how dare you keep secrets from me? Die. We are breaking up. And I was like, oh my gosh, stop. And then she has those secrets because she can't tell anyone his secrets. And then she starts pushing everyone away. And you want to know what happens? The secrets tear her and her friends apart. And then she expects forgiveness, even though she won't offer forgiveness to Xaden for the same reason. Like, it is a little bit different, because if I was keeping a secret from, like, my friends that's not my secret, I would not tell them, because it's not my secret to share. But if I was keeping a secret from my friend, and they didn't need to know, because it, like, I don't know, if it was something, like, important that I could get killed for, I would not tell anyone. Only because, like, if I ended up not being friends with you, I would have to trust you to keep that, keep that secret, even though the friendship didn't last. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I can sort of get where he's coming from, but also y'all have been dating for, like, a while. Like, let's just communicate. There's no need for this. Just ask and I'll answer. Just talk. This is not an interrogation. If my relationship was an interrogation, you're getting broken up with. You're getting broken up with. I'm sorry, but that's how it's gonna be. So she was expecting forgiveness from her friends and then she wasn't giving Xaden forgiveness. And I think that part was just bothering me so much. Okay. Now, well, one more side note before. Was it necessary? Let me just... I can probably flip to any page and talk about how short she is. Here. So she's small. Mom scans me up and down, taking in the generous fit of the cream belted tunic and pants I selected this morning for my potential execution. Is it necessary? And, okay. I looked up her actual height. She is 5 foot. Do we remember how old you have to be to go into the writer's quadrant? I think it's like around 20 or 21. Like, I know there are some short women out there. That's not what I'm talking about. It was just the fact that she's like, I'm so petite, I can get blown away. Like, okay, YN. And then she dates a 6'4" man. Honey, I'm 5'9". I don't get a lot of men taller than I am. Can we, like, leave some for me? Just, there's probably a nice Aaron Warner height man that will gladly date you. Why does he have to be 6'4"? Why? But, on to Onyx Storm. I'll stop hating on Violet now, because Violet is high-key, like, T. She's T. That's all I'm gonna say. This book is not tea. We're kind of gonna skip the whole traveling portion. Can we talk about the ending for a second? And then we can, like, can we just work our way backwards, like, end to start, like, what? Okay. So, I'm reading, and I kind of, like, saw whenever this book came out, like, everyone was just mad, and I was like, I think that was one of the reasons why I was kind of like, oh my gosh. It was the same thing whenever I was reading the Keeper series for, like, the second time, and I was reading Neverseen, and like, spoiler alert, like, whenever Keith joins the Never scene or whatever, I knew that was gonna happen, and I stopped reading for like 2 weeks. I stopped reading that book because I knew it was gonna happen and I didn't want it to happen, and it didn't even occur to me that I could skip because, like, I don't want to skip because that series is like perfection. But back to Onyx Storm. I'm reading, and I'm scared. That's basically what I'm gonna say. I'm scared. I'm trying not to skip. And then it gets to Imogen's chapter, and I'm like, bro, why is she here? Genuinely, like, we're over here fighting one of the, like, higher up, like, Venin, and we're switching to Imogen's chapter. And I told my friend, I was like, hey, I'm on Imogen's chapter, like, I'm almost done. And she's like, oh, you're there. Oh, you're there. And I was like, what's wrong with Imogen's chapter? So then I read it, and I started crying because, like, Quinn is a diva. I love Quinn so much. She didn't have that much, like, screen time or, like, page time or whatever you want to, like, call it. But I still loved her. I love both of them. And, like, Jax, even though you kind of never hear about Jax, I love them both. But still, I was kind of like, okay. And then we get back to Violet's chapter. And I'm like, okay. We're winning. And I knew as soon as she got that letter from Eric, he was like, hey, yeah, when the shadow walls go up, you strike in the dark. And I was like, okay, so Xaden's going full Venin and everyone's chopped. Yeah, he did exactly that. Exactly as I said it would. And I was, like, really upset because I love Xaden so much. But, like, why? You have no idea. When I ended this book, I started, like, actually crying. Because I was like, no. That's not how it works. That's not how it happens. You don't touch the main characters. Like, I'm sorry, you don't do that. And I was like, great. He's full Venin, but it's okay. Because now the other Storm Wielder is gone. She's dead. Big whoop. And then she goes unconscious. And I'm kind of like, okay. That's expected because I feel like she's been, like, super close to burnout more than once. So I was like, that's, like, to be expected. Then she wakes up. And I was like, oh. Well, then it gets to Xaden's chapter. And I was like, okay, yeah. That makes sense. And then I'm like flipping the pages, waiting for acknowledgements, and I get another chapter from Violet, and I'm like, what? Why is this here? What are we doing? And she's on a stick, tied up with Imogen, and I'm like, whoa, I think I missed a chapter. Like, excuse me? So I'm reading, and then she's married to Xaden. And I was, like, happy. I was like, okay, obviously that was going to happen. They're, like, they've been hinting at it, like, this whole book. They've been, like, soft launching it. And then he's gone. And then she's like, what did you do? And Imogen's like, what you told me to do. And I was like, huh? And then I called up my friend because she was the one that, like, my friend told me to read the series. I called her up and I was like, hey, yeah, I'm confused. What? And I actually had to get her to explain it to me because I thought I've been reading this book since so I think I read these two over Thanksgiving break. So I started this one over Thanksgiving break. Basically, I've been reading it since then. So I was like, maybe I, like, missed something and I skipped over it, or, like, I'm forgetting something. And she's like, yeah, that's the thing. We don't know. And I was like, great. I'm officially angry now. It's not even a cliffhanger. It's like a cliffhanger for a cliffhanger. Like, oh, yeah, double it and give it to the next person. Like, No. So I'm sitting here on my bed reading this book. I finish it and whatever. And I kind of sit there for a second and I like stare at the wall and I was like, I don't even know what to do right now. Like I'm genuinely so confused. And then I look it up and I was like, when is the next book of the Fourth Wing series coming out? What? Why is it so far away? Like, she hasn't even started writing it. I was like, oh my gosh, are you joking? Are you being dead serious? Like, are you joking? And I was done, so. Great. Lovely. But let's go back a little bit and talk about, like, the Irids for a second. Why did we need a whole quest squad? Like, and why did it have to be Professor Grady? Like, I know Rebecca is supposed to be like, ooh, yes, we don't like these characters, so let's put them in charge. Who is he again? Like, that was my genuine reaction. I was like, what did he do? Because I feel like he did something, but I also, like, can't remember. It was amazing. I'm so done with this series. But don't get me wrong, I actually love this series. Like, it was wild. It is one of my favorites, probably up there. I think anything by Jennifer Lynn Barnes is, like, obviously number one. But it's definitely, like, top tier, because it was really good. But that's also the problem. I keep having to catch up. Like, I don't know if you've seen all of these books behind me, but I've only read all of them, like, in the past maybe year. And there are still a lot that I haven't read, so I'm basically playing catch up. So I can't read any of the new books coming out because I'm still playing catch up. So I'm like, whoo, everyone's talking about this Haley fan book or whatever, and I was like, I think I have at least 50 books on my TBR. And I'm still not even done with the Shatter Me series, like, bro. So we're gonna break up talking to them with this. Oh, I praise this book. Like, Allie Hazelwood is my queen. I love this book so much. This is actually one of the best one of the best romance novels I've read in a while. Like, listen, I'm not a nerd, but I'm also, like, I like things correct. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just nice like that. This book, like, I don't know. Olive is me. I am Olive. Like, I just love all the characters. And, I read this on my cruise. So we had a 4-day cruise between break. Like, so break started for us on December 19th and then Christmas. In between those, like, 5 days or 6 days, we had a cruise. We were, like, in Cozumel. I read this book and these two all on that 4-day cruise. I don't really binge read unless the book is, like, top tier. This was top tier. So, basically, let's just start at the beginning. I feel like I'm just gonna start out and say it. I feel like I don't have the balls to, like, kiss some random guy. If my friend was calling me or was, like, making fun of me for being single, yeah, I'm single, so what? I'm smart. Like, I don't know. I feel like if my friend wanted me to, I don't really know. I feel like if my friend wanted to date someone and I would be like, and they were my ex, I'd be like, so, just because it didn't work out between us two doesn't mean it's not gonna work out between you. I'm like, yeah, also, I get it. She didn't want to be hungover, and, like, she found Adam Carlson. So I'm not complaining. Like, if my life would have ended the way hers did, I would do the same thing. But I can't remember their names, but it's like the little gay couple in this book. Bro, like, Malcolm and Holden, that was their names. They're such divas, and I love them both equally, because, like, what? They're, like, my favorite. Also, I love the fact that he will literally eat, like, raw broccoli, and she will drink unicorn frappuccinos. Like, I feel like that's just so, like, their characters. Like Broody and Sunshine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Golden Retriever and Black Cat energy. I feel like that's just the only way to describe these two characters. It made me so happy. Like, it was actually my favorite. There wasn't a lot of plot twists in this book, but there is one that I do want to talk about that kind of made me lose my mind. It was the Tom Benton. Like, I get it, you're friends with the hunk of a man, Adam Carlson, but, like, you don't go after his female, like, and then Adam Carlson comes in here and he's like, you stay away from my woman, like, bro's, like, nonchalant, and then he actually figures out what he did, and then he, like, beats him up, and I'm like, oh, yes, yes. And what I loved was the fact that he was in front of people he was trying to get a job at. Like, he was having an interview, like, a meeting with people, and he's just like, you hurt her? Like, I don't know. I love him. And I also love the fact that she let them be, like, kids. Like, I feel like that's what you don't see a lot in, like, romance books. I feel like whenever you're reading romance books, you kind of see a lot of, like, flirting, like, hey there, pretty lady. Like, no. I like the fact that they literally just made fun of each other the entire time. Even, like, whenever they were, like, dating, actually, they still made fun of each other. Like, it wasn't like a... They're making fun of each other, and it's like, you eat wet broccoli, you drink unicorn shat, or whatever. And then it's like, hey, I think you're, like, really cute. And then it's, like, changes up the whole demeanor. No, it's, like, literally who they were in their fake relationship was who their actual characters are. I just like that. And I also love the fact that he has been in love with her ever since he saw her in the bathroom. I read that first scene and I was like, stop, that's funny. I was like, well, I know, like, who the, like, guy is now, obviously. But then it was like, oh, yeah, he was, like, talking about this girl he's been trying to, like, bag for, like, years. That's you. It's Olive. The one thing that did bother me. So, and it was so cute. Don't get me wrong. But every chapter, it had, like, the little hypothesis thing under the chapter. A hypothesis is an if-then statement. Like, if independent variable, then dependent variable. That was not how these hypotheses were written. Again, I'm not a nerd. I swear. It's just, we're learning about this in biology, and it's like, oh my gosh, please. But I got over it, because I kind of started reading it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ignore the fact that it says hypothesis, and I'm just going to basically think of it as a summary of, like, the chapter. That made it much easier. And that's kind of all I have to say about it. Like, I really want to get more Ali Hazelwood books. I've heard mixed reviews about her newest book, like the problematic summer romance. But I want to get, like, The Bride and the Mate and the Love Theoretically. Like, I feel like I could, like, really enjoy those. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'll see. Now it's time to move on to the series that I still have a book hangover from. Mind you, I finished this in December. The Prison Healer. And if it was socially acceptable to, like, only post videos about this series, I would. If I didn't actually have a goal set on my Goodreads, I probably wouldn't have read any more books after I finished these. Because it started off fine. I was like, okay, I've never read a story about, like, an actual, like, girl in a prison. Like, with, like, I feel like it was a lot different from stories that I've read. Like, most of the time it's just, oh yeah, a girl and a prince, like, whatever. And, like, I'm guilty of that too. Like, literally the book I'm writing is about a guard and her prince. But, like, I don't know. I feel like every single time it's just, like, a girl and a prince. And you're kind of like, okay, yeah, I've heard this story before, but I'll read it again. And then actually, like, I was like, oh, wait, this is, like, a prison. Like, okay, this is, like, different. I'm enjoying this. And I was scared because of these two little, like, darker lines. She's unconscious there. Well, sort of. This next part where it has, like, the date. She's in the abyss or whatever. The first book was amazing. I loved it. I like the stakes where you didn't actually have to care about the characters enough to, like, fear of losing them. But it's like, sometimes authors make the stakes, like, way too high in the first book. And then but you don't really know the characters well enough for you to care. So, I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, yeah, I know these characters. I know they're probably not going to die because of the plague, but it's good to see that they're actually, like, trying to figure out what it is. And then we get to the end of that book, and I was like, oh, great, she's out. She heals Tip, and I was like, oh, wow. I actually was not expecting that. And I don't even know why. I feel like it was, like, it should have, like, clicked. Like, it should have been clocking to me, but it kind of didn't. Then she healed Tip, and then she sends a message to her siblings, and they're like, I'm gonna destroy their king. No! 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 So, then I started the second book. This one took me a little bit longer, because it kind of was, like, a change in scenery, and I kind of really liked the, like, actual prison vibe. Like, I kind of was like, oh yeah, this is, like, actually kind of cool. I really like this. And then it was, like, again, a girl and her prince, and I was kind of like, okay, yeah, it was, like, a change of scenery, so I had to get, like, used to it. And there was no story for, like, kind of a quarter of the book. And then, Calden finds out. And I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, you're fried. I was like, oh, no. Like, nothing to see here. Like, my baby is just talking to two random strangers. And he's like, yeah, I've known for the whole time. But, like, you're chill. You're not gonna bomb us, right? And then Jaren starts spilling all of her secret, or all of his secrets to her. And I was like, stop. Stop. And then I was like, Kiva, don't share it to your siblings. You're having second thoughts about being a rebel. Maybe don't share information until you fully know you either want to take down the Valentis family or you want to take down your family. Oh, okay. Also, Zulika needs to die. I was thinking that in this book. Not even this book. I was done with her in this book. Like, as soon as I met her and it was like, that's not the Zulika I know. And I was like, okay. No, just bomb her. Like, we don't need her in this story. Turns out we did. Are we sure? But yeah. I finished that book and I was kind of like, whoa. Whoa. Well, a little side note before I set this one aside. The way Jaren found out was excruciating. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I actually thought I was going to throw up. Because he lost his power. And I was so done. I was like, no. That's the whole reason he's going to be king. And then Marin was like, I want my girlfriend. I want my girlfriend. Can we maybe, like, tell my mom? Like, I'll get my mom to do it. Like, if my mom was the queen, I'd be like, hey, mom, can you go beat this guy up and give me my girlfriend back? Your mom does drugs. Like, just let her beat the guy up, bruh. But yeah, the way Jaren lost his powers, and then she was sent off to Zalendov, I was going to cry. I'm surprised I didn't. I think the only reason I didn't was because I was in public. Like I was actually, like, sitting on the Lido deck, like, tanning, and then that happens, and I just set my book down, and I pick up my phone, and I was like, don't ever text me again. No one needs to talk to me. And then the third book. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't even know how to start this, because it starts off awful, and it kind of only gets worse. Not, like, writing... Again, I love this book series. I'm not talking about, like, downfall. Like, I'm not talking about, like, Divergent over here, where it starts, like, the book itself starts here, and then the second book's kind of, like, a little lower, and then the third book's all the way down. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, poor Kiva. Like, that's how I'm referring to this. So, yeah, she's in Zelandol. She's dealing with withdrawals. And I'm just like, okay, she's gonna make it through because it's only this part of the book. And we have all of this left. What are we gonna do? So, then, like, Cresta, thank you, Cresta. Like, yeah, I'm forgiving you for your past because I don't really care about you that much. I love Cresta now. Just after I finish the series, I love Cresta. She's an icon. She's an icon. But they escape. She's apparently engaged to Novik. No. And also, if I was engaged to someone and then he made me wear a really revealing dress, I would be like, actually no, can I have Zelandol back? Like, thank you. Like, no. I fear I'm not wearing that. Then she gets burned. Lovely. We have to save this random guy that we don't even remember. But okay, because we need to figure out about our mom. Sure, right. Your mom is dead, sweetie. Like, yeah, it'll kind of help. Yeah, he'll kind of help with Zulika, but, like, do we really know this guy? Do we? So then, they escape. She's burned. She's tired. She's still, like, dealing with, like, I don't know. She's dealing with stuff, because she's, like, mad at herself. And she's kind of alone now, because Cresta's not there. And she's with Ashlyn, but she doesn't know Ashlyn, and she doesn't know this other weirdo guy's name who starts with a G, but I can't remember it because I don't care. But I was like, okay. Then they get to camp. Jaren was such a baby in this book. Like, I'm not even joking. This is like, until it was like even past this. It was like here that he actually started. He was like, yeah, I'm mad at myself, but like, and he's like, yeah, I'm not mad at you, I'm mad that you didn't tell me. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can sort of get that, but why are we acting like a 15-year-old boy when we're supposed to be king? Like this is the kind of drama that was supposed to happen in the second book, and it was supposed to be resolved in the third book, you know what I'm saying? But otherwise, I loved it. And, yeah, then Calden is like, where have you been? I hate you. What is going on? And then she explains it, and she starts crying. He's like, don't cry, or I'm gonna start crying, and no one wants to see me cry. And I was like, Calden, I love you. I love Calden so much. So, yeah, he makes up with her. Jaren doesn't. Jaren's just like, I want you to heal my guard. And, of course, Kiva can't, because she's like, I'm scared. I'm, like, scared of myself, frankly. So, she can't heal Nira, or not, what is her name, Naziria, or whatever? I don't know how to say her name. She can't heal his guard. Oh well, that's a shame. Maybe eventually. She goes into her room. Jaren leaves. It's giving like Adam from the Shadow Me series, and he looks at Juliet and he's like, Aaron came here to collect you, bye. And then he just slams the door and leaves. Like, that's kind of what I was like imagining in that like scene. I was like, okay, just walk away from your problems, why don't you? Like, that's literally what you're doing. So I was like, okay, that's nice. Then she goes into her room and Ashlyn's like, hey, yeah, let me see your shoulder. And he follows her and he's like, who did this to you? They need to die. I'm coming after them. And she's like, it's nothing. It's just Novik's soldiers. And I'm like, why do we care? Why are we caring? We literally stormed out 2 seconds ago. Why are we following her to her room? I don't know. Like, I'm not complaining because it's not complaining, but like if we're like storming out like 2 seconds ago and then you're coming back and you're like, who did this to you? Actually, wait, never mind. I don't care. And that's kind of what he did. He was like, who did this to you? I shouldn't be caring. Oh my gosh. She saw my weak side. And then he like leaves. And I'm like, bro, like, actually stop. Actually stop. Then they go on that little quest that's kind of useless. And I'm going to skip past it because it's kind of boring. Like, Cresta starts training. They all start training. Kiva's using her healing magic, like, without touching people. Like, big whoop. Boom. You're caught up. The one part that I will mention is... Well, there's gonna be two parts, but I'm mentioning this first, even though it's later in the story. It made me actually start cackling whenever the lady was like, Calden, I haven't seen you in like 4 years. Where have you been? And he just responds with one word. Allergies. I fear I'm gonna channel you into this next year. And the second part is whenever they actually... Well... There's kind of two parts to this part. It's kind of with Jaren and Kiva. The tropical island scene, where like the Oasis one, where he's like, she's like, hey, can we like actually talk? And he's like, fine, or whatever, like big broody man or whatever. Okay, great, lovely. And he goes and he's like, fine, you want to talk? I'll talk first. You're chopped. You're botched. Your personality is botched. I have no powers anymore and I'm in a bad mood. Womp, womp. And he starts like hitting on Kiva. And then he's like, so, what did you want to say? She's like, actually, never mind. You've said everything that needs to be said. I know where you stand. You don't want to talk to me anymore. And you can't even, he can't even deny that because he literally said it. He's like, once this is over and I have my kingdom back and I have my powers back, or he's like, and I have my kingdom back, because he wasn't even thinking about himself. He was thinking about like his kingdom, and he was thinking about saving his kingdom. He's like, once I am back in my throne, we don't have to see each other again. It's as simple as that. And then she's like, you know what? Yeah, you said everything you need to say. Great. Bye. And she leaves. And yeah, she shouldn't have been ignoring him. But also at the same time, like, should he really have been yelling at her in Oasis when she was trying to have an actual, like, adult-like conversation? And then, yeah, I get it. They're both, like, 17 and 19, so they shouldn't be having adult conversations. But keep in mind, I'm, like, young-ish. I'm not, like, actually exposing my age because I don't want to get doxxed. But I've had more adult-like conversations than they've probably had in their entire life. Because what? What are we doing? What are we doing? Then on the mountain. Props to Jaren for drugging Calden. Like, Calden's my favorite character, but Heike would have done the same thing. Like, it was nice. I felt like he switched up really quick. Like, he was kind of like, not like really quick, obviously, but like, as soon as he says that stuff on the Oasis, I knew he immediately regretted it whenever he was like, wait, no, Kiva, actually stop. I need to, and she's like, no, nope, nope, no. And yeah, I'm not even blaming either one of them. Like, it's kind of both their faults, and they're both kind of, like, stupid, but, like, it was, like, for the plot, you know, like, I feel like my life's too short, and I probably would have done the same thing if it was my situation, too. So, I was like, okay, yeah, they made up, okay, oh, they made up, now they're making out, that's wonderful. And then they save the world. Because Cresta is a long-lost princess? Huh? And I was like, wait, that's actually kind of, like, tough, though. Like, yes. And you have no idea how sad I was whenever Zulika stabbed Kiva. I was like, oh my gosh, are you joking? My baby. I was like, my baby. No, stop. And then she was so weak, but she still is able to stab Zulika and give Jaren back his powers. And you wanna know when I really almost cried? Whenever Gustav, or whatever that guy's name is, walked in the throne room and he was like, Calden is dead. And Tip was crying. And she was like, so I knew it was Beecher. I was like, you're joking. You're joking. So I was done. I was like, I don't care who lives and who dies because my baby is dead. He's gone. I've accepted it. And then I read it, and Kiva wakes up, and he's there, and I was like, yes! Yes. Yes. Sorry, I just got a notification from Bible. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Whew. And yeah. Then Kiva has her heal, but then she, like, actually takes her, like, position at, like, Slitherthorn, and then she kind of gets her dream life. And I was like, you know what? Good for you. Because then she's also accepted, like, And this is whenever I thought Jaren was kind of stupid, because he was like making this big deal over the fact that he didn't have his powers, and like also, yeah, like I get it, he has 4 powers and that's the whole reason he was gonna be king, so it makes the most sense why he was upset. But then Kiva hasn't used her powers, and that's also another reason why I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But she doesn't use, she gets her powers like actually physically taken away from her, and she almost dies. She looks at herself and she goes, I don't care, like, it's water under the bridge. My sister's in Zalendov, but maybe I'll visit her. I don't know. And I was like, okay, W Kiva, like, I actually love you. Like, there's hiking nothing wrong with any of these characters, except for a little bit of that tension in the 3rd book. If they ever fight again, I'm gonna like nuke both of them. And that's all the books I've read recently. I read one of the Shatter Me novellas, so like the one after the last book. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But I don't really have the physical copy, and I can't remember like what it was, even though I read it like last week. So I might do another one of these videos soon. I'm kind of also thinking about doing like a Q&A and like introduction to my channel, because I also haven't like done that yet. So yeah, y'all let me know. And if I do end up doing a Q&A, I'll probably post something. And then I'll ask, well, then I'll need questions, I suppose. So yeah, y'all ask me. Thank you so much for watching them and like listening to me yap. And if you guys want to talk about like either your books that you're writing or like books that you've read recently, probably list the titles so that way I don't actually spoil stuff for myself, because I have done that many times and no. So yeah, but I will definitely read them, and if I have read them, I'll definitely respond to them, because oh, I need someone to talk about some of these books with me.